I was so scared I could hardly talk. Crouching low, I ran through the backyards and the empty rooms in search of the enemy. A movement caught my eye, and glancing across the street, I saw a middle-aged man and his wife watching us from a second-story window. "Wo sind die deutsche Soldaten?" I shouted. "Where are the German soldiers?" "Weg," the man replied. "Away." They shut the window and disappeared. The bazooka men still hadn't arrived. Wiseman, Pace, Janovac and I kept close together, then separated. I found myself alone in a backyard. An old man watched me from a homemade air raid shelter. "Wo sind die deutsche Soldaten?" I inquired. "Nah," he whispered. "Zeer nah." He shook his head at me, as if to say, "Get out while you can, the Germans are very near." As Webster made a dash for the next house, a machine gun opened up on him, sending a long burst of bullets snapping over his head. He had likely crossed the east-west side street, putting him in the field of fire of the Panther's hole gunner. The noise of battle intensified around him as more of Easy Company entered the kill zone around the Fink farm. Platoons and squads lost contact as they were driven to ground by the crossfire. Reduced to small teams of a few men, some paratroopers pushed further ahead. They found an enclosed field to the east of the main road that was sheltered from German fire. Quoting Webster again, "Now there was a spontaneous movement forward, for the enemy fire was still high and apparently unaimed. We crossed a small park cut with air raid dugouts and stopped among the houses on the other side. 3 or 4 of us were together in what was now the front. The British tanks were nowhere near, and there were no officers to tell us what to do. Wiseman, Janovac and I went upstairs and began to shoot in all the windows, ditches and hedgerows ahead.